What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Bleeding BNG. And I guess the good thing to say about that is, guess what? It's going to be another episode of Bleeding BNG after this one because our beloved Washington Commanders are heading to the NFC Championship game. I gotta keep saying it for it to seem real. I gotta pinch myself. God damn, gotta pinch myself in order for me to believe it. But let me go ahead and say it again. Our beloved Washington Commanders are heading to the NFC Championship game. I can't believe it. This is an all-time high over here at Bleeding BNG. This will probably be our most joyous episode. And yeah, I know I said I got to keep repeating that we're going to the NFC Championship game just simply for me to believe it. But I might also be repeating it because I'm drunk as hell, y'all. I'm not even going to lie to you. Because this is uncharted territory for me. Like I said last week, even though I've seen us play in a wild card game, I haven't seen us win a divisional game. I haven't seen us win a game in a divisional round of the playoffs in my 29 years of existence. Well, guess what? That changed today. Thank you, Jayden Daniels, for changing my life. It's a reason why I got that fat head right there. It's a reason why I don't care if me a at the wrong age, 30 years old, and blazing this 24-year-old young man is playing rookie quarterback for the Burgundy and Gold. Because guess what? I don't mind it. Because I love associating myself with winners. And that's exactly what the Washington Commanders did today. Winning, putting belt to ass. Belt to ass. Louis, Fendi, Prada, Foreman Mills, Ross, TJ Maxx, any type of belt you want to fucking name it. That's what we did when we took over Detroit today. We sent them boys back to 8 Mile. But before I get too deep into this video, because I can already feel it, I'm going to be saying some even more belligerent shit than I said last week. Because I think I might be even more drunker. See, I'm talking crazy today, but y'all going to have to bear with me today. This is uncharted territory for us. For me. But before we get too deep into this video, be sure to comment, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. On the road to 2,000 subscribers, and I'm about 30 subscribers away. I know we can get there before the NFC Championship game, because guess what? The vibes is at an all-time high. And everybody got all eyes on the Washington Commanders. So I know we bringing in a new audience, bringing in some new engagement. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button so you're not missing any of this content. And without further ado, man, let's get into this game. And for the last, 5 weeks where, we've come out on top, but, our games have come down to literally the final game in the last 5 weeks. I've had a couple people tell me that I've misused the term belt to ass, even though I don't give a damn because we come out with a W, no matter which way you want to call it. It's a win, no matter what name you want to what term you want to put on it, what you want to classify it as. I just happen to classify it as belt to ass. Well, guess what? 45-31, defeating the number 1 seed in the NFC in their home. Something that they have been waiting 60 years for because they are poverty franchise at the end of the day. They're losers. Well, guess what? You got to wait 61 years. You're going to have to wait 61 years. Sorry, not sorry, Detroit. Sorry, not sorry, Detroit. Because guess what? And I thought it was just the NFC East fan bases and the Philly fan base in particular to get me riled up like that. But y'all was talking crazy all week. Y'all was talking crazy all week, acting like we didn't have a chance to be here, acting like y'all was the fucking modern day or the early 2000 Patriots. Like y'all are just this franchise that has been used so much success. Fuck out of here, bro. Y'all are the Detroit Lions at the end of the day. Y'all are the Detroit Lions at the end of the day. And that's why Jayden Daniels went into that puny-ass Lions den today and stared that shit in the fucking eye and didn't blink twice. This is a guy that was performing on the big lights in Tuscaloosa and Death Valley. What the fuck is a Ford Field to him? Week in and week out, doing it in the SEC, putting up video game numbers. Well, guess what? He put up another video game performance on the Detroit Lions, dragging his nuts on them today. I got 5 on it. Jedi 5, JD 5, MVP, whatever you want to call him. I told y'all before that he's changed my life. And he just doubles down, triples down, quadruples down on it week in and week out. My life is getting better and better because Jayden Daniels is the quarterback of the Washington Commanders. My life immaculate as shit right now. In all aspects. Career prospering. Fitness prospering. Health prospering. Finances prospering. And I think I can attest all of that to Jayden Daniels being the quarterback of the Washington Commanders. I think he got his hand in all of that, if I'm not lying. Because as you know, we start every episode with the Golden Boy, with the franchise, with number 5, with JD5. And we're going to title this episode MOTOWN Mobbin, right? Because while I'm about to go ahead and have my JD5 glaze session, my favorite thing about today's win is that this was probably the most complete football game that we played the entire season. And I'm so glad that it came when we needed it the most in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Today's game was the epitome of complementary football. All 3 phases of the game today excelled. Offense, defense, and special teams. And we needed every one of those to help us put belt to ass to them Detroit Lions. They were sad as shit in Ford Field. And I said it before the game, bro. And I'm going to double down on it now because guess what? We won. I'm going to drag my nuts. I'm going to talk my shit. Fuck Eminem. Eminem ain't been good in 20 years, bro. Let's talk about it. Big Sean sucked. He got washed by Drake on Blessed. Wasn't the show Martin filmed in Detroit? Fuck Martin. He really from D.C. Fuck Isaiah Thomas. Fuck Grant Hill. Fuck Kate Cunningham. Like, I was about to say fuck Barry Sanders, but he the GOAT. I would have started talking crazy. I would have got carried away. But I told you I'm liable to say anything on this episode today. But let's get back to the game, bro. Let's get back to JD5, Jedi 5. Jayden motherfucking Daniels. The most valuable player to his team in the NFL. Jayden Daniels went 22 for 31 today for 299 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 51 rushing yards. Just another MVP performance in another playoff game, resulting in him going 2-0 in his playoff career. Treating this like another fucking Sunday. And I said it before, and I'm seeing more people start to pick up on it, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting a little jealous because y'all not giving me my credit because I gave this boy this nickname three months ago. It's Black Brady. It's Black Tom Brady. He just happens to run a 4.3. And being that y'all jocking my little nickname, I might have to give him another one. Is it Patrick Mahomes 2.0? Is it the Michael Jordan of football? Because not only does he strap the team on his back, he straps the organization on his back week in and week out and refuses to die and refuses to lose. This skinny 6'4" kid from San Bernardino, California is changing the entire fortune of a city that's on a whole nother coast. This bony ass boy with these little ass plats from San Bernardino, California is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Debate your mother. Jayden Daniels is playing the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Patrick Mahomes threw for 177 yards today. Lamar Jackson threw for 170 yards last week, and y'all glazed the shit out of it. And that's not any knock to those guys because they're dogs. They're specimens. They're freakish quarterbacks. They 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks of all time. I'm not knocking them. But that shows you the type of supporting cast that they have, where they don't have to be the best player on the field week in and week out to compete. That's not the case for Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels has to give you a top one of one performance for the Washington Commanders to compete week in and week out. And guess what? He answers the bell every time. He answers the bell every time. He's the greatest rookie quarterback of all time. I don't know what took you so long to believe it, to figure that one out, if you haven't already. And if you haven't come along on that one, I hope tonight did it for you. I hope tonight moved the needle. He's put together the greatest rookie quarterback season of all time. And like I said, there's nobody in the entire NFL playing better than Jayden Daniels right now at the quarterback position. If you want to give me Josh Allen, I'll hear you out. But guess what? Even Josh Allen got a James Cook. Even Josh Allen got a Dalton Kincaid. We out there with Brian at running back and Zach Ertz that just came out of retirement home in August. And he out there making them look like the Posse 2.0. I call him Black Birdie because Tom Brady was winning Super Bowls with fucking Troy Brown and Deion Branch. Yeah, they were solid receivers, but not household names by any means. That was probably the first time you heard Troy Brown and Deion Branch's name in 15 years. But they got rings, though. And De'Ami Brown and Terry McLaurin. Olamide Zaccheaus. I don't even want jinxes right now. But if you're going to be on the team with number 5 in Burgundy and go for a while, you might want to start getting fitted for some rings, though. I told you I might be talking crazy on this episode. I'm in uncharted territory. The poise. I know people want to talk about, oh, yeah, he's a 24-year-old rookie. Well, guess what? He stepped in and showed that the NFL ain't shit to him. Those lights are never too bright to him. That's why he on the sideline looking like a cold-blooded killer. Because he's been there, seen that before. Whether it be through his experience in college or through the fucking Oculus with the VR headset. He had the sliders up in full field all week apparently. Because he went into that weak-ass Lions den, and like I said, he didn't blink. You see him putting up 31 points in the first half and sitting on the sideline like, man, what's next? Like, he couldn't wait to go home and play PlayStation. Like, and yeah, he has all the physical aspects. Even though he's skinny as hell, he can flick the wrist and throw the ball 65 plus in the air. He got 4.3 speed. You saw him run away from Brian Branch like he was running in quicksand. But the greatest thing about Jayden Daniels is his intangibles and the fact that he's so cerebral and so poised that even though he's in his first NFL season as a rookie and hasn't been in these moments before, you cannot tell. It's just another day in the park for him. And I'm so glad that he's on our side. Get into the running game, man. I know I called him Brian, but guess what? Brian earned his nickname back today. B-Rob was out that motherfucking toting. Yes, I called him B-Rob. Brian earned his nickname today. Earned his nickname back today. Brian run through a motherfucking face Robinson. Because guess what? That's what he was doing today. Running through motherfuckers' faces. It looked like the pre-Columbus Day Brian Robinson. It looked like September Brian Robinson. I don't know if he was listening to the Isley, bro. I mean, I don't know if he was listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire and got his September groove back. But he answered the bell, and we needed it the most. I tweeted it today, and I was partly tongue-in-cheek, but I had a little feeling. I saw it in my dream last night. I said, I got a feeling we're going to get a big Brian game today. I said he's going to have a smooth 40 yards. Like I said, that was partly tongue-in-cheek, but to be honest, based off of his last month of production, 40 yards would have been a big game for Brian Robinson. He almost doubled that production today in a run game. 15 for 77, 2 touchdowns. Being that sledgehammer, breaking tackles, being that goal line finisher that he was at the beginning of the season. When I was watching this game, I said, oh, this reminds me a lot of when we put belt to ass to the Arizona Cardinals early in the year. The run game was back. It allowed you to play in front of the stick. Jayden was lethal with the quick game and taking the shots downfield. And guess what? We put up another 40 points just like we did on the Arizona Cardinals. I think that this offensive script was eerily similar. That was one of the first games, not the Cincinnati game, but Arizona was. I was like, okay, Cliff Kingsbury got some shit to him. And you could tell he really wanted to beat his former team that act like he wasn't worthy of being their head coach. Like they not a poverty franchise as well. But we focus on the Detroit Lions right now. The Arizona Cardinals, they is what they is. That run game, Jeremy McNichols getting a touchdown. I think Jeremy McNichols had a touchdown against the Cardinals. But you know who didn't play against the Cardinals? And you know what wasn't similar from tonight to the Arizona Cardinal game? Austin Mighty Mouse motherfucking Eckler. Austin Mighty Mouse Eckler. 6 rushes for 47 yards. 41 yards receiving. And I know I gave Brian his nickname back. He's back to B-Rob. And he had a hell of a game today. But it just looks different. You'll be fooling yourself if you didn't admit that it just looks different when Austin Eckler has the ball in his hands. I said at the beginning of the season, Austin Eckler, outside of Jayden Daniels, is the most electric player on this offense with the ball in his hands. And he proved it again today. Explosive runs. One of my favorite plays from the game from Austin Eckler was when Jayden hit him on a check down. I think it was 3rd and 10. And he just dipped his head down, ran through two tackles, and, put it in 4th and short. I don't remember if we went for it. Shit, it seems like Dan Quinn went for every 4th down, so we probably did. But it showed that Austin Eckler won it, bro. Won it, bro. This is a guy that had 2 concussions over the course of this season. Shit, just about 3 weeks ago, we didn't know if Austin Eckler was going to be returning this season. But he come back running through motherfuckers' faces, putting his body on the line because he's all but 5'6". All right, this is team of destiny, man. Because like I said, these aren't household names. These aren't guys that were huge free agent acquisitions. Like Austin Eckler, this isn't 2020. This isn't 2021. Austin Eckler and Zach Ertz weren't high priority free agents. But Adam Peters bought them in because they knew that these were veterans that were going to mesh well with the quarterback that he was going to be drafting a month later. And that's what they keep showing up in the biggest of moments. Zach Ertz, another touchdown today. 5 receptions for 28 yards. Coming up clutch. Couple first down catches to go along with that. But while I'm in the passing game, and while I'm on the passing game, let's start with Mr. De'Ami Brown. Let's start with Mr. De'Ami Brown. We're going to call him Playoff De'Ami. We're going to call him Playoff De'Ami. Because De'Ami Brown in the playoffs is a whole different fucking player. Going 6 receptions for 98 yards. And I'm going to say this right now. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I bet you know his name now. I bet you know his name now. He showed why, he made Ron Rivera look a little sensical and drafted him over you today because he answered the bell today. I hope somebody asked Amon-Ra in that post-game presser, do you know who number 2 is for the Washington Commanders now? Acting like we don't. Like he ain't fucking name dropped all the receivers that's been drafted before him on that boring-ass podcast for the last 8 weeks. One of my favorite storylines from today is that Amon-Ra St. Brown could go back to recording that boring ass podcast with his brother that got the same amount of yards as me this year. But he's still holding on to calling himself a fucking NFL player. Nigga, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You asked for it, Amara St. Brown. Because guess what? Only we can disrespect De'Ami Brown and just be running around out here. Because guess what? He's done more than just run around for the last couple of weeks. He's answered the bell. Our leading receiver today. And even though he was our leading receiver today, we all know who our wide receiver one is. We all know who that dude is. We all know who that guy is in that wide receiver room. We all know who the alpha is. That's top 5 Terry. And if you notice, we've been slowly climbing up the ranks. It was top 15 Terry at the beginning of the season. Then it was top 10 Terry about midway through the season after he started fucking scoring touchdowns after every week. Now, man, it might just have to be top 5 Terry. It might just have to be top 5 Terrys. Because I'll be the first one to admit, we love to run our little victory laps when we right. And I don't mind eating crow when I'm wrong. I was one of the ones in the Washington community, especially at the beginning of the season, questioning if Terry was an elite one. I knew he was our wide receiver one, but I was questioning if he was a top 15 in the league wide receiver one. I knew he was the best player on our roster. And yeah, I've never been happier to eat some crow. Pass the fucking hot sauce. Give me some salt and pepper with that bitch. Because Terry McLaurin has proved that he is every bit a wide receiver one, an elite wide receiver one, and one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. Culminating in his second team All-Pro season this season. And then the 2 games that he's played since being named All-Pro, a touchdown in each and over 80 yards in each. Taking screen passes to the fucking crib. Like Santana Moss in 05. Hitting his head on the goalpost like Terry McLaurin in 2019. I ain't seen that type of juice from Terry McLaurin since he was a rookie. Before he put on the muscle. Before he put on the muscle to become the best contested catch guy in the NFL. Remember, he was a deep threat when he was my rookie. Hitting his head on the goalpost, 58-yard screen. And guess what? If Terry had high step and knew how to stay on his feet like that at the beginning of the season, I don't think it's hyperbole, and I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say he could have had at least 20 touchdowns on the year. Terry was the king of getting tackled inside the 3-yard line at the beginning of the season. But guess what? He answered the bell when the bell needed to be answered the most, when we needed the most, in a do-or-die, win-or-go-home game. So I'll take him making that play now than fucking week 5 in Landover against the Cleveland Browns. This is why I think this is a team of destiny, because they answering the bell and they getting hot and they becoming they're playing their best football when it matters the most, when they need it the most. The offensive line didn't allow a sack today. And that's with their best offensive lineman, Sam Cosmi, getting hurt in the first half. We've been hard on Trent Scott over here on Bleeding B&G, and rightfully so. But Trent Scott is our 4th tackle. He slid in there at left guard today, and while we allowed a couple of pressures, we didn't miss a beat. We still put up 45 points on the number 1 seed. This team is gritty. This team fights. And that's why I'm not counting this team out of any game. Vegas, y'all was fucking fooling yourselves making us 10-point underdogs at the beginning of the week. Like we don't have a Jayden Daniels. Like we wasn't going against fucking Jared Goff. The real Jared Goff stood up today. And let's get into that defense. Because that defense made Jared Goff Go back to the same Jared Goff that Sean McVay couldn't wait to get out of Los Angeles. Y'all forget that Jared Goff was a fucking throw-in in that trade. But now I'm hearing people talk about how he better than a Jayden Daniels. Yeah, my ass. Detroit fans, we still believe that. We still believe that, Detroit fans. Talking about some 5 is a Jared Goff with wheels. Shitting me. Shitting me. I guess that's the new coping mechanism. Like 5, not the engine, the car, and everything included. Like Jared Goff not in the backseat of a fucking chauffeured Maybach. Like he ain't got everything set up for him. Like he ain't got fucking the Tasmanian double that running back and the flashy wide receiver. But guess what? It didn't matter because he still gave it to us 4 times today. With a real Jared Goff, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Shout out to Eminem. The real Jared Goff. 4 turnovers. That's what. That wasn't enough. Because Ben Johnson's dweeb ass had to be a fucking dweeb and get too cute. Too cute. He was flustered because the basketball guys had him in the Matrix, was running mental gymnastics on his ass, and put the ball and crash out Jamison Williams' hands to force another throw, to force another turnover, to force another interception. But enough on the Lions. Let's talk about what we did, because we took them away. Mikey Sanders still making plays in Michigan. What's new? The Wolverine was back home, and he felt every bit of it. He probably slept in a bed that he was real familiar with last night because he played like it. 2 interceptions. 1 on Jared Goff, 1 on the crash out Jamison Williams. Jeremy Chin, 12 tackles, game-sealing interception. I told y'all he needed to be resigned like yesterday. And this much maligned secondary, who's been getting the blues all season, stepped up. Because I didn't even mention Quan Martin, who not only had a pick six, interception, he had a pick 6, hitting his head on the fucking goalpost, looking like an offensive player. Flying around. And I tweeted this during the game, that this is the Dan Quinn defense that we've been waiting for all season. You know, they're not the strongest in the run game, but one thing that Dan Quinn's defenses have done his entire coaching career is create turnovers. And we hadn't done that throughout the duration of the season. But guess what? We picked such a perfect time to do that in the divisional round of the playoffs, forcing 5 turnovers. That's that Dan Quinn football. That's what we bought Dan Quinn in for. That's Joe Witt out there strutting his stuff. I told y'all we had Jared Goff in fucking mental gymnastics. That boy was in the Matrix all game. All game. Dorrance Armstrong, 2 sacks. Forcing the fumble on Jared Goff, dweeb ass. I think John Allen, I came on here last week and said that he played a decent game, even though he didn't show up on the stat sheet. I think he showed up on the stat sheet today, and he played the best game of his season. John Allen, even though, you know, he might be on the back half of his prime, I think John Allen wants to win a championship with Washington. Because he's been playing like it over the course of the last 2 weeks. And besides the players, because I think I've touched on them enough, outside of the special team, shout out to Tressway. A huge punt that landed Detroit inside of the 20 when we needed it. Wasn't out there much because we got Jayden Daniels at quarterback. But I think the kickoff coverage was amazing as well. When Zane Gonzalez wasn't kicking the ball out of bounds. And I do think that Zane might have gotten his head about those OCD stories that were coming out. Because that, I don't know what the hell that kickoff at the beginning of the game was. And he missed the field goal to essentially put Detroit away with a little over 2 minutes left. But enough with the players, enough with the game. I do want to give a game ball to Ben Johnson, like I said, for being a fucking dweeb, overthinking himself, and taking the onus off of us not having to hire his dweeb ass. Because if that was the case and we did hire Ben Johnson, we wouldn't have hired Cliff Kingsbury, who dragged his nuts all over Aaron Glenn today and coached his way and coached Aaron Glenn back into a defensive coordinator position in the 2025 season. Aaron Glenn was getting looked at as a potential head coach. I don't know. I don't know how you're going to be able to answer how a rookie quarterback and Cliff Kingsbury hung 45 on his head in his home. I'm sorry, Aaron Glenn. And I wanted the brothers to get in every opportunity that they could. Cliff Kingsbury had other ideas, though. Jayden Daniels had other ideas. And while y'all boys can enjoy Turks, we're going to enjoy either Philadelphia or LA. I don't give a damn. Anybody, anywhere, anytime. Because guess what? No matter the outcome of tomorrow's game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles, Jayden Daniels is either going to be playing a team that he already beat, or he's going to be playing in his hometown indoors where he's bound to put on a show. I tweeted it early, and I've been saying it on the channel for a while. I couldn't wait to see Jayden Daniels on the fast track in a dome. I legit thought that he was capable of putting up 500 yards of total offense. He was on pace for that and some more in the first half. But we started putting belt to ass to them boys so bad, we didn't even need him to do that much with his arm in the second half. We just needed him to play ball control and play ahead of the sticks. Because guess what? He's capable of putting video game numbers up at any time. And if you've been doubting that, and if you still doubting that, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. You know the content coming out. Reaction video tomorrow. I think we got another day to push out some content, being that this game was on Saturday. So I think I might go live on Monday. NFC Championship vibe live. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Yeah, we might go live Monday. So make sure you tap into the channel, hit that subscribe button. As always, if you're not following us on social media, what the hell are you doing? Go ahead and follow us on Instagram at BleedingBNG, BleedingBNG. Go ahead and follow us on X at BleedingBNG, BleedingBNG. If you're listening to us on audio-only platforms such as Spotify, as Apple Podcasts, go ahead, leave a rating, leave a review. That's how we finesse these algorithms so that if you're searching anything, Washington Commanders, Bleeding B&G is that #1 content hub that pops up in your search bar. Let's finesse these algorithms because guess what? The Washington Commanders on top, and I'm trying to be on top over here at Bleeding B&G. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll check in on you guys on the flip side. Peace.